Coming up right now, a college freshman is spending 10 grand to travel to Florida each weekend, but it isn't for fun in the sun.
Also coming up, a drunken driver did the right thing after doing the wrong thing. We'll explain.
All right, a little bit later on. And what do you get when you cross a rodeo with skiing? It's the wild and wacky world of ski joring. We'll tell you all about it.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
She certainly is. I can testify to that. I am Mitch English. We're welcoming you to Daily Flash. We have just got our army of people together to make an hour set up for you, including Matt Doolittle. And Matt, I don't know if you know, I'm a bachelor all this week, and I pre-made all my food.
Good thing.
Well, I ordered a pizza, and I'll be eating on that recipe. You've been cooking?
I have been cooking, but one thing I've wanted to try, and I just looked up this recipe from 1910 when they tried to import hippos to replace cows. It was called Lake Cow Bacon Chili that somebody cooked back in 1910, and I want to see if I can find a recipe for that anywhere.
Well, do you know where to get rhino meat?
I mean, it's hippo, but...
Or hippo meat,
I
right?
mean, I know a guy.
Oh, boy.
You were at my wedding. I know a guy.
He knows a guy,
He
trust
knows
me.
a guy. He sure does.
Dude in the cowboy hat.
Oh,
he can get it for me.
my goodness. All right, there's a Reddit thread talking about baby names, right?
Oh, okay.
So this one gal named her daughter Juliet, which is a
pretty
beautiful
nice.
name, right? But her best friend has an issue with the name, not because of the name itself, Juliet, but with the way it's spelled. You ready for this?
All right, here we go.
It's
I have
spelled.
to spell it, okay.
It's spelled Giuliyettete.
No.
Okay, that is how she spells Juliet. Her friend says, look, your kid is going to be teased and made fun of for years. They're going to call her Gillette, Gillette. I mean, ridiculous
that's weird
things.
looking.
I mean, it's a very strange way of spelling Juliet. But that seems to be part of the trend. Like, people are taking these regular names and spelling them in the most bizarre way possible.
Isn't when G and H are next to each other, it sounds so
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. It sounds like guillotine. It almost
Guillotine.
looks
That's
like
what
when
I-
you
when
read
I
it,
see
it
it,
looks
that-
like guillotine. And that's
what it
another
looks
one.
like,
They're
yeah.
like, look, she's going to be called the guillotine. Made fun of endlessly.
Yeah, and it's only for confusion and everything. And it reminds me of that P and Keel bit where the substitute teacher comes, AA Ron, you know? You know what I'm saying? He comes across that name, he'll say it correctly now.
I know LaDasha.
LaDasha.
Her name is
LaDasha.
literally spelled L-A with a
With a
dash.
dash.
A-H.
Hey,
Are
very
you
nice.
serious?
Yes. I worked with her at Finish Line.
Oh my gosh. Now here's my thing. Like, when you
That's
go
mean.
to those tchotchke places for license plate, keychains, placemats, you're never going to find this name. Ever.
Whatsoever. You'll
Ever.
never do it. And that is what that child is going to be facing.
Remembered
for a
for-
minute.
My wife
for
can
years.
never find hers. L-E-A-H. She can never
Are
find
you
it because they
serious?
spell it like Leia. L-E-I-A, like from Star Wars. And they always call her Leia, so we always joke around with her like that. I get the death stare.
Okay.
But yeah, like, she can never find hers.
Interesting. I would have thought Leah would have been a
Yeah,
normal.
To me, it sounds
It's a tough
you know,
one.
be an easy one. Like I can never find Mitch ever. So
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I've never seen Mitch anywhere. So if you know of one, go ahead and send it to me. Make me feel better. We'll jump into what's trending around the world. A freshman who is attending NYU right now, spending thousands of dollars for weekend getaways in Florida. But he's not going down and partying. The college student is actually paying the massive travel price tag to spend his weekends working rather than lounging on the beach. He's flying to Florida for an internship at the Ritz-Carlton. It's down in Naples. He says it'll end up costing him more than 10 grand in travel expenses once the 6 months gig ends in April. He reportedly flies out of New York once his classes end at noon on Fridays and returns to his dorm room late Sunday after flying out of Florida around 9 p.m. Despite that exhaustive and expensive travel between school and the internship, he's actually loving the experience, and he's a brave kid too, because can't tell you how many flights are usually either delayed or canceled out of Florida because of storms. So, knowing that frustration of like, man, I got to get back to New York on time so I can make it here.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, Florida to New York, and New York in the wintertime, of course,
and
that's a gamble too.
True.
I mean, he's highly motivated. God
Love
bless him, man. It's impressive to see somebody that's like really kind of going after it.
I like hearing that. I flew from Orlando to St. Louis back and forth every single week, something similar to this, and it wears you out.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, you're just sitting on a plane, but it tires you out. There's something in the air or whatever where you're just like, I don't feel like doing anything.
I think it's
God
more
bless
more going to the airport and having to get there at a certain time, and then having to make sure you check in. I mean, you're there like 2 hours ahead of time. By that time, you could drive to St. Louis.
You're right.
I think that's the part that's so tiring. Well, police in England say a drunken driver did the right thing after doing the wrong thing. An emergency dispatcher received an unusual call when a motorist reported that he was driving drunk and didn't know what he was doing. When officers arrived, the 52-year-old man was in a van on the side of the road. He mentioned that he was kind of having a bad weekend. A breath test revealed he was 3 times over the legal limit. He was arrested and charged with drunk driving. He essentially turned himself in with that phone call saying, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but you probably need to come and get me.
And I think, I don't think there's letters of the law. Obviously, he said he was driving, so they have probable cause, number one. But I imagine he can say, hey, look, you can't get me for drunk driving because I'm sitting here,
right.
But if the keys are in the ignition or something like that, there's some kind of law, that sort of thing. But I would imagine his attorney could fight for him and has a pretty decent case and say, look, I know I did it, but I had at least the common sense to stop and say, hey, look, I need help.
Yeah.
And that's where Uber comes in. You might call Uber instead of the cops and say you're too drunk.
Like, I'm always surprised at these celebrities that get caught in that kind of situation. Like,
Yeah.
you can afford a driver. What is your problem?
Yes.
Why are you bothering to get behind the wheel
I
of
can
your
understand that.
Lamborghini? Why don't you call the driver and have him take you back and forth? Have you ever heard of ski joring?
No.
Okay, it's the extreme and quirky winter sport that mixes rodeo and ski cultures. Many describe it as a heart-pumping white-knuckle competition. You'll see skiers getting towed by dogs, horses, as you can see here, snowmobiles, even cars. The skiers can top 40 miles per hour and take off over jumps as high as 8 feet. There is even an obstacle course. Every winter, thousands of people head to the Rocky Mountains to watch these wild races where these two extreme worlds collide.
And you think, we're saying, wow, this is all new, but somebody came up with the sport of let's ski, stop, let's have a gun in my back, stop somewhere and shoot, and then go skiing again and then shoot. It's an Olympic sport. Say again?
The biathlon.
Biathlon,
right. Which has not, I want the word gun or skeet or something in that sport, because biathlon, I'm thinking running, don't you?
Yes, right, 100%.
But skiing and shooting, which I can understand, basically, you're skiing so much with your arms to hold a gun still and be able to do something.
Are you cross-country skiing in that sport?
I think
cross
so.
Cross-country is a whole different experience.
I think there is a little bit of that. Yeah,
exhausting.
I don't think you're like going downhill, but I think it's something like that. But if back then people were going, what is this biathlon stuff? Right?
Let's cross-country ski and shoot at things.
Yes, why not? Let's go to McDonald's and get a manicure. It actually could happen. The fast food giant is actually partnering with Nails.Inc. for its first ever beauty collaboration. Well, you can't necessarily go to the restaurant to do it, but the new manicure line includes press-on nails, nails polishes, nail stickers
Those are
inspired
so
by the restaurant's
cute.
signature colors like bright red and gold. There's also a nod to the legendary menu items like the Big Macs and the French fries. Everything is packaged together that it looks like a Big Mac for a fun touch. The collection, you can get it on Amazon. It's about $7. So you can get, if you definitely want your fingers to look like French fries, you're gonna do two things. You can get this, or you can get those Frito corn chips and kind of just put them on the side and use those. That, to me, that'd be great, like for scratching backs and stuff like that. It's an odd, but I bet you're more than likely odd combination of those two. But just like the
I like
skiing
the little
and that.
French manicure with the French fries on it. That was very cute.
You would do that?
I would do that.
All
yeah.
right.
I'll do
That'd be
it.
fun, especially maybe for younger kids too. Have fun with it. A Massachusetts library allowing patrons with lost or damaged books to actually pay their fees with an unusual form of currency: cat pictures. The Worcester Public Library announced its March Meowness program, which allows members to wipe any overdue fees. All they got to do is submit a photo or a drawing of a cat, all in place of cash. The library said the program came about after officials noticed a large number of overdue books starting in 2020. More than 400 accounts have been cleared so far thanks to the program. And if you're not a cat person, don't worry. The library says that it does accept pictures of dogs, raccoons, whales, or any other animal, though a whale is not an animal that you can think of. So
You
how
go to
about
my
that?
Instagram
Mammal.
at Matt Doolittle. I could pay for a Lamborghini with the pictures of my cat.
Of his
that are-
cat, yes.
You'll wipe out everybody's overdue
Yeah, I got
fines.
all the debts if
Just
you look at
for the
mine.
bait.
So
my
much
wife
so-
and my cat. That's it.
Just steal Matt's pictures. Just download Matt
Yeah.
and you're fine. You'll get a
Do
free
they even
book.
need to give you credit, or can they just take them?
No, just take them. It's fine. Spread the word of the Kiki.
The kiki.
More Flash coming up after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Our next guest is Melissa Cade Garcia, and she has a new book out called The Reality of Rejection. In the book, she talks about how the sharp pain of rejection can often leave people in shock and fear, but there are ways to work through it. Please welcome Melissa to Daily Flash. Hey, Melissa.
Hi there, how are you? Thank you
Very-
for having me. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to have you. Whether it's a relationship or even a career rejection, it's all painful. You have 3 steps on how to deal with it. Let's start with the first step. You say acknowledge your emotions.
Yes, we need to acknowledge our emotions, and I'll start by this. Humans were created for connection. So when rejection happens, the opposite of connection, there is, a pain, discomfort that comes along. And often we experience those first as children, and we don't know what to do as a 3-year-old, when that disconnect happens. So our soul begins to create self-defense mechanisms to kind of divert that. And so we're functioning on these emotions that our soul has built up through childhood. We don't even really realize it. So we suppress all of these things. And so when it rears its head in adulthood, we have to acknowledge the discomfort. We have to acknowledge the emotion. And I call that the power of self-connection, and it'll change your life. So we live in a society where people tend to suppress or overreact. And neither of those things get us anywhere. So we want to really stop and explore the emotion as opposed to ignore the emotion.
And that brings us to your second point, where you say reflect and learn from it.
Yes. So I do believe that emotions are important, but they should not dictate our lives. We need to pay attention to them. I consider them data for the soul. So you simply
Nice.
want to you want to step back instead of reacting, because what we normally do is our self-defense mechanisms subconsciously they shoot up to protect us, and we want to react, and that can have us fly into a fit of rage. It could have us have our own little pity party. It could have us put up a wall. That's reacting. We want to respond. You want to stop, and you want to take a step back, and you want to think about what you're feeling. And really the goal is to get to the root of why you're angry. We know the feeling, but why are you feeling that way? That's, the bottom line of it. We want to respond instead of reacting.
And you also say your third tip here is to cultivate resilience and self-compassion.
Yes, and so a couple of things here. This happens outside of the first 2 steps, where you're going to have to come to the realization that whatever rejection you faced as a child that is trying to protect you now has no significance on your worth. And also the other realization is that when rejection does happen, it has nothing to do with us, and it's often comes from the state of mind of the rejecter or their perspective. So we have to learn that it really never was about us. That's the first thing. And then the other realization is we were not meant to be disgruntled. We were not meant to be discontent. We were not meant to live just distracted. That's not what was meant for us. We want to get back that part of us and become that whole human. That was kind of taken apart, when we were younger and started building these self-defense mechanisms. So we have to look at the body, the mind, and the soul. So when we think about the body, in order to cultivate resilience and self-compassion, you think about regular physical activity because it helps reduce stress, eating well, sleeping well, all of those will give you clarity of mind and build resilience. Spiritually speaking, it depends on a person's core values. So if you're, for myself, I'm a person of faith, so prayer really works well for me. It might be meditation for others, spending time in nature. Whatever it takes to connect to the Creator, we're looking for, we're looking for peace and for purpose. And then the last part of us, I'm sorry.
I was going to say we are out of time, Melissa. Thank you so much. For more information and to get a copy of Melissa's book, The Reality of Rejection, please visit transformativeconnections.net. Mitch.
All right. Thank you there, AJ. Good stuff. And then there's this. I want you guys, wherever you're doing, stop. I want you to watch the screen here because a fully autonomous AI robot raised a few eyebrows after appearing to grope a reporter during an interview at a tech festival in Saudi Arabia. Check it out. The journalist was speaking in front of a robot named Muhammad when the machine seemed to, touch her behind. The reporter quickly moved away from the robot, but not before holding up her hand and waving at it to just stop doing that. Jackson does the same thing. The company actually said the robot was designed to help perform tasks in hazardous conditions and help improve safety for humans. They say that the robot, they say it wasn't trying to grab the reporter. It was actually motioning her to step forward. Move up just a little bit, please, would you? That's my impersonation of an AI.
After you.
After you, please. Okay, if a robot does that, who gets in trouble if it really was doing that? I want to find out. That's what's going to happen in the future if we don't stop these robots.
They've already had a lawsuit with the VR goggles in a video game where one woman said she was assaulted by another player within the video game, and she's suing that player for assaulting her within the video game in the viral world.
In the meta.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, it's like layer upon layer upon layer.
I'm wondering if she has a case there because a half or if not more of when you get a physically abused, it's the emotional that goes along with it. So if you're seeing it emotionally, you're experiencing it. That's interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a whole new law. It's gonna be a whole new law, like the internet was. Think about that. More Flash coming up around the corner. We are going to be checking in with Tony Toscano. He's going to tell us what's coming to your screen. A show called Perimeter. All that's coming up as well. I'll give you the deets on that. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. It is time to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Entering its first season on BET is the family drama Perimeter.
We all make choices in our lives, never knowing how important each of them will be.
Hey, yo, Paige.
Look, stop.
I see what you're trying to get into. You met my boy Poppy, right?
Everybody calling you Poppy now? I mean, I kind of like Romeo better.
Can you teach him everything about the perimeter?
You keep to yourself, don't you?
Like to stay out of trouble.
Oh, well, good luck.
Set in the 1990s, a family tries to find connection despite individual turmoils and personal drama. The series stars Ava Monet and Tatiana Ali.
It's like a really provocative, I think, and enveloping story. And I hope that after people see these first 4 episodes, they'll want more.
I think that everyone who watches it can relate to it. Every character is so well fleshed out that there are things that every person can relate to. Even though this is a period piece, this is still very current, the issues that they are facing, whether it's Paige, my mom, anybody. I think anyone can relate to it. And I think, it's definitely going to take you back to the 90s with the fashion, with the music, with the way that we carry ourselves, and the setting is just going to bring people back to the 90s, and everybody loves the 90s.
Perimeter is a series with complicated family dynamics and complicated storylines to follow. Although the acting is great, but as with most first seasons, Perimeter needs some time to find its footing and rhythm. Again, it's streaming on BET and gets a C. it's not rated. Making their way back onto Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon, The Thundermans return.
Danger! Seek shelter! Won't some superheroes save us? Thundermans reporting for duty.
The film follows a superpowered family as they begin a new era of superhero crime fighting. But when one mission goes wrong, the Thundermans are sent back to their hometown to fix it.
This was really well done. It's sort of the Thundermans turned up on steroids, but not on steroids. And, you know, just everything's bigger, more special effects, more budget, everyone's back. It's just, I think it's going to create even more momentum and excitement.
I hope they like it. I hope they everyone enjoys it, and we get to do another one and keep making people happy and laugh.
You know, I think as artists and performers, we just want people to feel something. That's kind of our goal. And with this movie, and even with music of mine, like, my goal is for people to feel part of something.
Aimed at families, The Thundermans Return is a silly and fun, harmless romp with a few laughs. Check out The Thundermans Return streaming on Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon. It gets a B and is not rated. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Thanks, Tony. Well, it's time for an all-new edition of Is It True? Now, we have all lived in cities that have some pretty horrible drivers. Me, I've lived in Orlando, LA, Detroit, Tampa, but by far the worst I have ever seen, and it actually has its own Instagram, and this is a true story, it's Miami. However, according to an article in Forbes magazine, they believe it gets this. Get this, it's Albuquerque, New Mexico has the worst drivers. The metrics were based on the number of people killed in fatal crashes, total numbers of fatal crashes involving drunk drivers, fatal crashes involving a distracted driver, and fatal crashes involving speeding. This was based on a per 100,000 residents. Now, Albuquerque scored 100 out of 100. Following those scores, right behind them was Memphis, Detroit, Tucson, and Kansas City. So I get the scoring, but does merging with no blinker count, veering across 4 lanes because you almost missed your exit count, stopping in the middle of the highway, just because, or one of my favorite tricks, the number of fingers being shot out of the sunroof while lighting a cigarette, blasting Barry Manilow. That is a true story. And now, Mitch, I know you've spent some time in Albuquerque. I haven't. So is it true they have the worst drivers?
I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque. Or was that Bugs Bunny? I can't remember. Actually, you know what? A lot of they have the most. I do know this. They have a huge drunk driving problem there. I do, and I've driven up and down that whole state of New Mexico, and I don't remember being crazy drivers, but I remember the statistic of drunk driving being the highest in the nation in that area. So
they scored the highest on all the major cities in the entire country, 100 out of 100, which I thought was nuts. And I've lived in the craziest cities, and you know, I'd like them to factor some of those other things in there.
Well, you know, especially if you're like Walter White driving around in one of those Pontiac Trans, whatever was that car?
Aztecs, Pontiac Aztecs. Well, I guess it is true. They have the worst drivers.
I think you're right. Yes, it is true. Thank you there, Matt. We have more trending news and entertainment coming up.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
Hi, I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to our midweek broadcast of Daily Flash. So glad to have you here. We'll be checking in with Matt Doolittle in just a second. And we always say on the show, when we hear these criminals that, you know, they steal all this money and how they did it, you go, if only you used your knowledge for good, right? Well, we go to Lincoln, Nebraska, where a woman was arrested for using one of these rewards cards. Okay, so like, you know, when you go to a gas station and they'll give you a card, you know, and every time to encourage you to come, and every time you come you get points and that sort of thing. Well, apparently there was a software change back in November of 22, and in it where they were it would put it into demo mode to show everybody how to do it. And so if you swiped it twice, it was on demo mode, you could do whatever you want. Well, nobody knew this except apparently this lady found this out. So she starts swiping it every time she goes to get gasoline, stole a total of $28,000 worth of gasoline.
No.
Used it 510 times.
Wow.
7,400 gallons of gasoline, and obviously they caught her on camera. They figured out which rewards card was doing this, and now she's up obviously in jail. She's out on bond right now, but even still, you would think, because you can understand like the demo mode, like
Yeah.
hey, you're the owner of the company, or I'm going to show you how this works, and just do, and then this. Well, she knew this, so had she have, and then let her go on this long with that kind of money, you would think it would stop. So, listen, just do the right thing. You never have to worry about it. Now she's facing jail time.
What is she filling up? A bunch of RVs and boats?
You would have to 7,400 gallons, 510 times. I go to the gas station, but not that many since.
Yeah, but you said it's 2 years, right? Since
from
2022.
22. But even still, 510 times, isn't that a lot?
Oh, maybe she's driving an RV, or maybe she's driving an SUV.
But 510 times, it'd be like, Jackson, you want to go to the gas station? You need some gas? Matt, y'all come on, follow me.
There's just a line.
Maybe she was filling up her neighbor's cars
That's what I'm
too.
thinking,
Right,
yeah.
so every other day she's going to the gas station. That works, the math works out.
Actually is a
that way.
great alibi, because you're in a different car every single time, because they're like, we're looking for a station wagon.
Well, I
It's a
bet maybe
different
that
one,
was
right?
part of it. And maybe she was getting cash from neighbors.
be.
Like, I'll go fill up your car.
Hey, give me $10 and I'll fill your car.
Yeah,
Could be.
I could see.
We're speculating.
That, yes, yeah, speculation. If you were a crook in that situation, here's what you might do.
Might have done.
But here's the thing: at some point, the gig is up, because you're going to be caught on camera, and your rewards card has a number attached to it.
100%. But for them to take it that long to catch us, what surprises me. It seems like, hey, when this comes through, pop up, send an alert. It seems like it's just a simple program.
I was going to say, I know
Way above
gas
my
is
pay grade.
expensive, but it's not.
No,
it's not
it shouldn't be that much.
510 trips expensive.
We go now to New York, where a freshman that's going to NYU is spending thousands of dollars for a weekend getaway in Florida, but he's not partying. The college student's actually paying that massive travel price to spend weekends working. He's flying to Florida for an internship at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. He says it's going to end up costing him more than $10,000 in travel expenses once the 6-month gig comes up at the end of April. He reportedly flies out of New York once his classes end on at noon on Fridays, and he returns to his dorm room late Sunday night after flying out of Florida around 9 p.m. Very exhaustive and very expensive between school and internship. He says, I'm loving this experience, and good for him. And if for an employer saying this shows that you really want to learn this business and says more about him, looks great.
He's highly motivated, and to be able to manage that kind of a schedule while going to school full time and trying to fly back and forth on the weekends to do an internship, that really says something about his work ethic.
And if you think too, the weekends, usually if you're a college student, you look forward to the weekend. Here he is working on the weekends, but yet flying down and really just spending all this cash to do it.
And let's just say, if you're in Naples and you're at the Ritz-Carlton, Naples, the age crowd is a little bit older, so it's not necessarily the party college crowd that you would think of. It's more of the sunset crowd.
Unless you're looking for a sugar mama.
Well, that's, I mean,
maybe
it's
that's
very
how he gets his
possible.
10 grand back.
That's how he gets the 10 grand back. Yeah, he's just waiting for one of those white hairs to show up.
No doubt. All right, we are looking for you to show up, of course, right after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. And by the way, we are always open on our website.
dailyflashshow.com. Head there right now. You can visit us. You can also find all our socials on there, where you can follow us very easily. We're back right after this.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, along with Andrea Jackson. Navigating through tax season, it can be pretty challenging, and not to mention really stressful, but using a tax preparation service may be unaffordable for some. Today, we're getting insight into a free tax assistant program that's available in all 50 states.
The nation's largest volunteer-based tax assistance program is back this year to help millions of Americans file their taxes for free. Here with more is Mayoshi Moses, Vice President of Volunteer Programs at AARP Foundation.
AARP Foundation Tax Aid provides free tax help to anyone, but particularly those over 50 who have low to moderate income and may not be able to afford a tax prep service. AARP membership is not required.
Tax Aid offers several in-person and virtual options and is available until April 15th.
You can prepare your taxes online or use the site locator to find tax aid volunteers in your community. Volunteers are located nationwide and are IRS certified to make sure they understand the latest changes to the tax code. Last year, more than 26,000 volunteers helped taxpayers get over $1 billion in refunds.
To book an appointment, visit taxaide.aarpfoundation.org.
Lifestyle expert Joanne Butler joins us with the scoop on everything you need to get you and your home ready for spring. Hi, Joanne.
Thanks for having me. Well, of course, spring is the time to get organized and help clear your space and clear your mind. Nothing upsets me more than clutter on my countertops and the floors, and Command Brand always saves the day for me, just to help me organize everywhere, from the kitchen to the entryway where mucho clutter gathers, and they have the best stuff to make sure everything has a neat, organized, special place in my home. And I am just loving this Command Broom Gripper. It just neatly stores all your brooms and your mops when you're not using them. They work great in your utility room, your closet, anywhere, great for spring cleaning time. And they just stick on smooth surfaces, and you don't need tools. They're just super easy, just peel and stick. And best of all, they leave no holes or sticky residue, so I just love that. And they have some amazing inspiration on their website too. Just head to command.com and they'll tell you which products are best for certain projects and how to use them and where to buy them. So again, command.com, they're just the best. Now, next up are beauty routines, because nothing says spring refresh like a new do, but you don't have to break the bank to get it. Just hit Walmart, look for Pantene. They have a new amazing duo. The true star of the show is this Miracle Rescue Deep Repair Conditioner with Melting Pro V pearls. Now, this visibly repairs 6 months of damage without weigh down, just leaves your hair feeling strong and healthy looking, and it works as well as the leading $60 hair bonding competitors out there. And I love to use it with this Pro V Miracles Infinite Length Shampoo. Now, this is made with actual things you'd find in skincare products: biotin, collagen, delivers up to 90% less breakage to promote length that truly lasts. Just healthy hair from the inside out. Again, get it right at Walmart. So this is just luxe for less all the way. And you can do a lot with the money you save, like get more lattes at Starbucks, which brings me to my next must know about for spring: Starbucks. Now, you might have noticed lavender is popping up big time everywhere, from fashion to home design. I've always been a fan of using it in recipes too. Now brands are really getting in on this action big time, and Starbucks has just launched some new lavender flavored drinks. They're absolutely delicious for a limited time only. The lavender cream matcha and the lavender latte, they're both made with oat milk, just so creamy and so yummy. The matcha's topped with this lavender cream cold foam. It's just beautiful. Look at it. It puts me in a better mood just looking at it. And then the lavender oat milk latte is made with Starbucks' blonde espresso, and just the perfect touch of lavender. Plus, they have all this new spring gear, cups and tumblers. Love it. Just super cool. Again, just for a limited time. So get them while they last. Hurry on in there. And happy spring.
Anytime, any place you can catch Daily Flash, just head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. There you can find full episodes and, of course, all the information that we talked about. Where is it? dailyflashshow.com.
And now from the kitchen, check out this healthy drink that's nutritious for the body. Here's more.
In the Know, incorporating Florida orange juice into your daily routine and recipes is a simple way to increase your intake of essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, potassium, and folate.
Florida orange juice is the original wellness drink and is a delicious addition to any recipe, cocktail, or even mocktail due to its natural sweetness and great taste. Try this Florida orange juice and cranberry spritzer during National Nutrition Month.
Learn more at floridajuice.com.
All right, let's now go to a captivating reality show called Chef Swap at the Beach on the Cooking Channel. Here's Chef Mason Zeglin with a preview of the second season.
Hi, I'm award-winning chef Mason Zeglin, host of Chef Swap at the Beach on the Cooking Channel. All along the Grand Strand in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, talented chefs are serving up flavorful and memorable meals. Some of our incredibly talented chefs of the Myrtle Beach area will be showcased in Season 2 of Chef Swap at the Beach, a show that's sure to get the culinary world buzzing. Every week, 2 chefs from the Myrtle Beach area will swap kitchens and prepare a new dish for evaluation by veteran judges and culinary experts Dylan Foster and Johanna Wilson-Jones. Nice shareable little appetizer.
Well, if this is extra credit, that's a passing grade in my book.
Yes, more than a dozen of Myrtle Beach's finest chefs will be sharing their stories while dishing up authentic, one-of-a-kind masterpieces. Chef Swap at the Beach is not only great foodie entertainment, but also shines a light on the culinary cultures and unique flavors of the region, from the Grand Strand to west of the waterway, as well as the heart of downtown Myrtle Beach. This season includes an all-new Catch and Cook episode, showcasing the area's bounty of fresh, local seafood. For me, Myrtle Beach isn't just a beach, it's the beach. A destination made up of 14 unique communities, offering families, couples, and anyone searching for a warm welcome, vibrant entertainment, family attractions, world-class golf, shopping, and fresh coastal Carolina cuisine. I'm Chef Mason Zeglin, host of Chef Swap at the Beach. Looking forward to seeing you at one of our many amazing culinary treasures on the Grand Strand. For more information about tourism opportunities in the area, or to learn more about Season 2, check out chefswap.com.
March is National Nutrition Month, and here to share a few healthy breakfast options that are easy to make is registered dietitian nutritionist Gisela Bouvier. Gisela, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
So nice to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, breakfast, hardest time to get a meal, number one. And then when you get a meal, you want to make sure it's very nutritious and it tastes great, right?
Absolutely. So whether you want a grab-and-go breakfast or a healthy snack, we've got some great recipes that feature milk and yogurt, which contain 13 essential nutrients, including vitamin A, vitamin D, potassium, calcium, and high-quality proteins.
Love that. Okay, where are we starting?
We're going to start with the yogurt parfait,
Look at
right?
this, man.
So this is the 3-seed and berry yogurt parfait. And what I used Greek yogurt because it's got a little bit more protein per serving compared to regular yogurt. But it also has live cultures, so it's really great for your gut. And we've added the berries for rich antioxidant foods. And also we have ground flax seeds, hemp seeds, and chia seeds for really those heart-healthy fats. So it's really a great combination. It's also really refreshing.
You have to be careful with yogurt, right? Because there's a sugar content if you go for something more flavored, right?
Well, we have all kinds of yogurts, really. We have low sugar ones that are a little bit sweeter to really help kids eat a little bit of yogurt, which is so beneficial to them. And again, sugar in moderation is okay. So
can I ask you, I can make this maybe like at night and then it'd be ready for us in the morning.
Absolutely.
That's probably the best thing.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Because in the morning you're running and you're going in the thing. All right, very cool. Love the parfait. Everybody, the crew, everybody is dying to find out what this is. It looks delicious, and you might be talking about it, now you might consume it, so tell us.
This is golden milk.
What is that?
So it's great because it's got 8 grams of protein for the 1 cup serving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's got milk, and you can use any milk that you'd like, lactose-free, whole, 2%, whatever you'd like. And then it's got turmeric, which gives it the
That's
golden
the color. Okay.
Yes. And turmeric is really known for its antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory properties. And the secret ingredient in there is black pepper, because black pepper helps to increase the bioavailability of turmeric to help your body absorb it. So you've got such a powerhouse nutrition in this drink between the milk and the turmeric, and it really helps to kind of calm you down after a busy day at work or right before bedtime. It's a great option.
So warm. You would kind of warm it up a little bit?
Yeah,
Nice
absolutely.
something to sip on. That's a great idea. All right, we'll try that because we got the turmeric at my house for sure.
Okay, this looks fascinating to me, the yogurt bark.
Yeah, so this is actually kefir bark. Okay. So kefir is very similar to yogurt, and it's originated from Eastern Europe. And kefir, the difference between yogurt and kefir is that it contains probiotics because of its long fermentation process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's really good for your gut. Probiotics help to feed the gut bacteria, right? Happy gut means happy health because so much of our immune system is in our gut, right? So this is great and so refreshing and fun to eat with the kids, almost like a dessert. So on a sheet pan, you put some kefir on there and then throw on some berries, some granola, some honey, some seeds, and really it's such a delicious snack, almost like a dessert for everybody to enjoy, especially now for spring break and summertime. Great option.
You freeze this?
Yes, you freeze it for at least 3 hours, and then it turns into this bark, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, that looks real, and it looks beautiful. It's got a lot of great colors and everything that makes it very tasty. It makes it taste even better. So
Yes,
I love that idea.
absolutely.
All right, now finally, we're gonna kind of make something here. Is what?
So speaking of kefir, we're gonna make blueberry kefir overnight oats.
Okay.
So again, this is great to make in large batches for when you are busy in the morning, great for the kids, great for when you're going to work. And what you're gonna do is in a blender, you wanna mix, again, whatever milk, dairy milk of your choice. Okay, you're gonna put that in the blender. 1 cup, and this is gonna make 2 servings. So again, if you wanna make more than that, make double or triple your recipe. And then you're gonna throw in your kefir. And there's different kefir flavors as well. I chose plain just because I really want to hit that blueberry
Sutherland,
flavor.
have you ever had kefir? Really good.
Oh, it's so good.
Bad
joke,
joke.
sorry.
Bad joke.
And then you're gonna throw in some blueberries as well. Okay.
Okay, throw the blueberries in.
Yep.
So far, I can do this. I like
Yes,
this.
yes. I love kefir.
And
both the yogurt and the actor.
And the actor
Yes.
as well, right?
And kefir does have a more tangy taste to it,
Yeah.
so you may want to add a little bit more sweetness
that's
with the honey. So you can add 2 to 4 tablespoons depending on your preference. Throw that in, and what you would do is you would blend this up really nicely, right? And then in a mason jar, you want to have your oats in here. 1 cup, you want to divide it into 2. And what oats provide are soluble fiber. Again, it supports gut health as well as heart health. And then the chia seeds, okay? Chia seeds, again, heart healthy fat. Throw this in to both mason jars.
Ooh.
And then after you blend your liquid, you're gonna put that into the mason jars and stir it up, and then you wanna let it sit for at least 6 hours. Okay, and what that does is that the chia seeds absorb the liquid, so do the oats, and creates almost like a pudding-like texture, and just creates this beautiful and delicious
great.
overnight oats
I love
for us to try here. And I made this all for
All
you
right,
last
thank you.
night.
Tell us where we can get more information.
You can go to floridamilk.com for these recipes and so many others.
Okay,
Alrighty,
fantastic.
and-
What do you say, Mitch? What do you think?
Much better than kefir Sutherland. I love this. This is great.
This is
I can-
delicious.
while I'm going into work, or once I get there, I can chow down on this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Great
Cheers.
stuff. More Flash after this.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites, and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
I just realized something, guys. I'm going to take my jacket off to show you. If this was a short sleeve shirt, I'd dress like Forrest Gump today.
You totally did.
Can we pull down, Will?
Jenna.
Hey.
Oh,
I'm totally,
my goodness.
I'm totally Forrest Gump. I just need a short sleeve shirt.
I kept thinking, why do you look so familiar? What is it?
I don't know.
Like
girl,
like
yeah.
a box of chocolate.
You know, we had so much fun with your wedding, Matt.
It was
and
beautiful,
it was a
Matt.
Gatsby. Speaking of dressing up, I
Yes.
love dress-up events, and it was a
Beautiful.
Gatsby theme. It was fun.
That was all the ladies thing. But I will tell you, the seating chart was a disaster.
Really?
We didn't really have.
What seating chart?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have a full chart, but we had reserved seats for certain family members and guests of honor and all that. And we talked about it the day before with the coordinator lady, and bless her heart. She just let it go, and half an hour before the wedding, obviously Leah couldn't help out with that, so
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
running
So
over
many things
there.
you have to do.
It's hot, and I'm like, look, why is my mom sitting in the back? She needs to be over there. Why are my aunt and uncle in another room? All these people are just like,
Why is Mitch by the bar?
why is
We
Mitch
told
by
him to
the-
keep him.
keep him over there. Like, no, nothing except beer right now. So that was like the most stressful thing. And then I forgot to do a couple other things. But like that just was like, I was like, oh, come on.
Those things will happen.
Yeah.
We didn't know. I mean, like as
Yeah.
guests, we had to. Was Jackson and I supposed to sit together? We
didn't have. We kind of left it as open seating.
Oh,
We
okay,
wanted
okay,
people to
good.
mingle, but like there were about 4 tables that we made reserved signs for. That the lady that was coordinating it knew who was. I showed
I
her
think
pictures.
we sat at the
And-
reserve
Probably
table.
did.
Probably, I don't remember. It's one of those things that everything they tell you, every stereotype of the day,
It's
Yeah.
is just a
Blur.
flash.
And all that matters is you got married. No one
Yeah,
would have known there was
Fun.
craziness.
No
it was
fights,
more in your
no
head.
nothing. If nobody was too drunk, it was great.
That was great.
It was great. It was
It was
very good.
a wonderful
Thanks for
time.
coming,
Yes.
guys.
Oh,
It was
you got it.
wonderful
Thanks
time
for
to have
the
y'all
invite.
here as well. We
Yeah.
want you to join us again.
Absolutely. Check out our website, dailyflashshow.com, for more information. If you've missed anything, you miss a lot, but
Sure
you can
so.
catch it on the website.
All of our awesome socials.
Yeah.
Take care.
Be good,
See you when we
everybody.
look at
Peace
you.
and love.
Bye-bye.